Hello, Lisa Fry, the Catholic Unschooler. Today we are going to look at the first rule, number 314, in Rules for Discerning the Spirits by St. Ignatius of Loyola. Those who go from mortal sin to mortal sin are usually influenced in this way. The enemy proposes certain illusory, hope I'm saying that right, delights, causing them to imagine sensual pleasures and enjoyments, the more effectively to keep them under the sway of their vicious and sinful course. The good spirit deals with these same people in the opposite way, working on their consciences in order to induce compunction and remorse. So it is with those who live in mortal sin. The evil spirits reassure the sinner and pushes them further and further into sin. He presents to them, the sinner, more vivid pleasures and sensible delectations. He represents to him the objects of sin as the greatest happiness, so that he will plunge deeper and deeper into it with all the more security and joy, just as if it were something normal and indispensable. The whole world is doing it. The good angel, on the contrary, sends a sting. He stirs one's conscience. This prevents the sinner from being complacent. He uses rational reproaches. He shows him the consequences of sin. The sinner is in the state of damnation. If his car should hit a lamppost or a milestone, he risks passing from his steering wheel to the judgment of God and hell. That is clear, undoubtedly. The devil makes him reject these thoughts that have converted so many souls. Do not worry yourself. God is good. Everybody does it. Just take a look around. It is not worth talking to your confessor about it, your priest. It doesn't concern him. You will confess it on your deathbed. You will always have enough time. You are still young, etc. If you have a friend that does not believe, do not go and tell him, "You are just great. I am sure that you will be saved. You gave $2,000 to charity, and you are intelligent, loyal, obliging, etc." No, tell him the truth. With all the intelligence that God gave you, you are the most stupid man in town. You are on the way of perdition. You call yourself loyal? My foot, if you were truly loyal, you would go to a retreat house and make a retreat. You call yourself a benefactor of humanity? You are a public scandal. Children lose their faith just by looking at you. Prepare yourself to render terrible accounts to God, who was laden you with gifts and to whom you shall render account, etc. Those who reassure the sinner in his sins also play the game of the devil. I, on the contrary, have known persons who have been saved because they one day encountered a confessor who said to them, "Since you are not decided to do away with sin, I grant you absolution. We both would be committing a sacrilege. You must convert. If I die, will I go to hell? If you remain in that state of sin, yes, you shall. Well, Father, then I shall return." The person in question made a complete about turn and fulfilled her Easter duties not on the day of Easter, but before Pentecost. She had 4 children. She ended up with 11, and she was saved by a confessor who played the game of the good angel. I know a parish that was converted because the parish priest announced at the beginning of Lent that anyone missing a Sunday Mass during Lent would be refused absolution for his Easter duties. It was a very Christian village, so they say, where the men fulfilled their Easter duties and came to Mass 4 times a year, that's all. After this warning, nothing changed. The day of Easter, none of them were able to fulfill their Easter duty. You should have seen the disturbance that it caused in the village. Well, half of them came to fulfill it at Pentecost, and they continued to come to Mass. A good number of others came back slowly at the occasion of a mission or because of some sickness. It is the devil that reassures the sinner in his sins. Beware. The good angel gives rational reproaches. He says, clearly who he is. He does not beat around the bush. If you wish to convert someone, do not give him reasons that are beside the point. For example, go to the retreat because one eats well there. Tell him rather, if you had to die at this moment, would you be in a fit state to appear before God? Well then, you fortunate person, go quickly and make a good retreat. This is indispensable to you and very urgent. Father Rothen said that this first rule can also be applied to those who, without being in the state of mortal sin, are well entrenched in lukewarmness. For example, those Christians and religious who have decided not to convert their venial sins. Who is?
Me.
So-and-so just walked in. I won't mention who it is. No.
Shout out to the Catholic School.
Woo! I only had a couple more sentences to read, but I'll finish in a moment. For example, those Christians and religious who have decided not to correct their venial sins. The devil reassures one in tepidity. I don't even know how to say this word, Rachel. Tepidity. I hope I'm saying it right. And it is very dangerous for their salvation. The good angel sends him grave warnings. Woe to those who pay no attention. It is in this way that laxity is introduced into many converts and even into Christian families. So the next time we'll look at the second rule. How does the evil spirit proceed? How does the good angel behave with those who work courageously at correcting their sins? So you see, it's not worth talking to people and then, just making it look like what they're doing is okay. You don't want to beat them over the head about things either, but you do have to be honest, especially if they're asking you. You do have to be honest. So may God bless you.